if I'm having these moments where I just like overloaded with stimulus, I just want to listen to something that's easy. It's always an old song, even though I've got all these new songs I love.
You know what I think that might be? Because a lot of people relate songs to periods of time in their life, to points in their life. There must be a point in your life that you're fond of, or like you go back to, that makes you feel comfortable. A point in your life where you feel, because everything we're doing now, it's hard to, you have to force yourself to have brand new experiences. As you get older, there's always a reference point to the first time you did something, the first time you went, or the first time you tried something. You're always going to be referencing, I remember when I was 7, or when I was blah, blah, blah. There's nothing, not really anything that can tie that new experience to this new song. There's not really that many chances for that. Unless you keep exploring, keep trying out different things. I reckon for me, maybe it might be touring and stuff like that, listening to stuff, being in new places, new countries. There'll be like music that is like, I remember being in Berlin and I was listening to this album, a few months ago. So this is like, depending on how I felt. If I hated the time in Berlin, I might hate the album. Do you know what I mean? But if I really like the album, like for me, I'm kind of like trying to enjoy where I am right now, like wherever I am, basically.
It's true.
So I'm ending up absorbing a lot of new music in a good way, where I just go back to albums that I may have discovered a few weeks ago, but I like it as if it's like, you know,
what, older?
Yeah, I guess I don't really have that many childhood
musical.
I used to make music. Like I don't, in my house, mum was playing shitty gospel music that I just was not a fan. Do you know what I mean? I kind of have an aversion to the gospel, even though like that stuff has obviously seeped into me, my playing and stuff like that. I can't be like, okay, cool. I remember them days, and those days were amazing, and they weren't really. That's not how I was making my own music but then it's only when I got older, maybe 18, 19, 20, like people would say they people that are fans of your earlier albums are just fans of earlier parts of their life. Yeah,
basically. That's so true.
Which is like such a difficult thing to compete with, right? You can't beat nostalgia. You can never ever compete. But also you can't compete with your older.
If someone says this song got me through that breakup,
or death, what can I say? I'm gonna die again, man. Exactly.
But then they're like, the new stuff doesn't hit as hard because no one died.
Exactly. No one's died, man.
No one's died. No one's broken up with you. No one's triggered that.
Yeah, but you know, like when you're 18 to 24, you're so changing chemistry wise. Like you just love things more, and you know.
Also there's this time maybe as well. Like you have more.
You're a bit more free.
Yeah, like the focus is more so on like. I mean, I find that. Would you guys say that you're less of a fan of artists? It's more difficult to become a fan of artists with new music because of that as well. Like, do you find it difficult to kind of be like? I suppose your time is so selective, especially if you're listening on the road, for example, or you're listening whatever. Like, I only have a specific amount of time to listen to certain things. So I find that like me being a fan of artists is more difficult because I haven't got time to scope and.
For me, I agree with you that there's a tiny bit of time, but because of that, it's easier for me to be a fan of someone because it's like I'm not discovering new albums. I just have this to listen to. You become a fan of that person just because you are listening to them over and over again.
So do you feel like we're lacking with? Cause I remember do you remember LimeWire days, Alpha? Yeah. I mean, Jordan, you're old like us. LimeWire days where you would download. Remember the album rips? So I remember album rips were like you couldn't download the album. Individual tracks, they would just come as one chunk of an album, and that really helped me listen to albums because I only had this option to like listen to the whole album.
I wasn't.
Right? So like I remember that with like a College Dropout, Kanye West. I had that and his entire. Obviously, these are groundbreaking albums, but my point is that like that really helped me.
I mean, the whole YouTube full album thing is an updated version of the same thing, where people will just literally they'll be at home and then
chuck it on.
YouTube is their vinyl player. And they're playing something that just has that full album in brackets, and it just plays, and that's how people discover and fall in love with stuff. It's what happened to my thing, innit? Like it was that sort of thing where you have no choice but to listen to it from start to finish.